I used to think static was the sound of nothing, a gentle hiss, like the universe taking a long, relieved breath after everyone went to sleep. Then, 3 nights ago, the static on a dead Zenith television called me by name, and it wasn't even plugged in. I laughed, unplugged it properly, and went to bed. Last night, the static spoke again, louder. Tonight, it asked to trade places. I'm a freelance copywriter by day, insomniac by night. Apartment 9C is my fresh paint month 1 lease in an aging Art Deco tower overlooking a convenience store dumpster. The listing boasted fully furnished, which mostly means a couch that smells faintly of wet pennies, and a Zenith console TV as heavy as my student loans. The landlord says the sets are collectible. I call it rent-friendly wall decor. I've discovered a weird ritual. After 2 p.m., the building's Wi-Fi drops to caveman speeds. While my AI grammar tool buffers forever, I flip the Zenith on for background hiss, an ironic soundtrack while I sell velvet-lined weighted blankets to stressed millennials. Tuesday, during a lull, the flicker changed. Snowflakes on screen thickened, compressed, forming a silhouette. Shoulders first, then a blurry head, a neck, all rendered in specks of black and white. I rubbed my eyes. The shape vanished, the hiss returned. Thought I was hungry. Ordered Thai. But when the delivery guy left, the static had evolved a pulse. A low, subwoofer thump. Slow, patient, almost fatherly. I muted the TV. The thump persisted, inside the speakers, or maybe behind the drywall. At 11 p.m., I crawled into bed, scrolling creepypasta to sabotage whatever sleep remained. At exactly 1 a.m., my phone lit up spontaneously, the screen filled with monochrome snow, just like the Zenith's, but arranged into crude, lip-shaped blotches. They moved, forming syllables. Let us breathe. The phone died, full battery to 0. My heart lagged behind, deciding whether to sprint or stall. I convinced myself it was an adware glitch and, idiotically, went back to sleep. At dawn, the only evidence was a single thumbnail in my gallery, a grainy still of the Zenith. In the fuzzy haze, a figure pressed its face against glass, lips cracked open, static bleeding through its teeth. Its hoodie matched mine. My thumb hovered over delete. But something about the eyes, wide, pleading, pixels tearing down the cheeks like melted plastic, paralyzed me. I slid the phone under my pillow and went to work, promising not to overthink. Wednesday evening, thunderhead skies bruised violet over the city. Lightning spidered across the high-rises, and every strike made the Zenith screen jitter, as though the storm was tuning it. Desk lamp on, laptop open, coffee lukewarm. I hammered copy about hug-like pressure therapy, but the real hug came from the droning static wrapping the room in white wool. 2:37 p.m. Exactly. The hiss sliced off. Silence snapped so brutally my ears rang. The thick snow cleared until the display was night black. A whisper seeped from the speakers, dry, like wind scraping bone. Let us out. My laptop speakers popped alive, same voice echoed. Light bulbs dimmed, brightened, pulsed to a heart I couldn't locate. I grabbed my phone, filming. On the screen, the Zenith's glass morphed into a mirror. My own reflection stared back, except pixels dripped off my face like digital tears, pooling at my feet. Frame by frame, the reflection smiled an unfamiliar smile, too wide, promising something I hadn't agreed to. I yanked the power cord. The screen stayed on. Snowflakes massed into dozens of mouths, vertical rips across the glass, yawning open and shut rhythmically. They formed words. Breathe, breathe, join, inside. Panic finally broke the hypnosis. I sprinted for the door, jammed, not locked, grown over. The wood grain fused into the jam, as if the entire frame sprouted roots inside concrete. My chest crushed inward. The heartbeat inside the walls accelerated, syncing with mine. Kitchen window, my lifeline. I vaulted the counter, slapped the blinds up, only to confront a single, continuous pane of glass replacing the whole building facade. No seams, no escape latch. Outside, traffic froze mid-motion. Cars paused in stop-frame stutter. Pedestrians hung mid-step, rain suspended like beads on invisible strings. The world had buffered. Behind me, the Zenith scraped across hardwood, dragging its two-prong cord like a fishing line. On-screen silhouette sharpened. My proportions, my hair, same bitten nails. It raised a hand. Instinctively, I raised mine. Warmth prickled across my palm as if the glass radiated blood heat. The heartbeat boomed in unison. Static me whispered, "Trade me." Adrenaline hit. I hurled my desk chair. Instead of exploding, the Zenith folded, collapsing inward like a paper cube. The glass warped, swallowing the chair whole. The only sound was a wet pop, like lungs inhaling deep after drowning. Silence. I took one naive step forward and peered into the imploded shell. Inside was a grayscale replica of 9C, down to the chipped mug on the coffee table, except dust blanketed every surface like decades of abandonment. Across that inverted living room sat my reflection, older, cheeks sunken, eyes twitching in jagged 8-bit stutter. Static veins crawled beneath its skin, branching like lightning scars. It pressed cracked lips to its side of the glass and mouthed, "Trade me. Just breathe." Hands burst from all four sides of the TV frame, pale, pixelated, numbering in the hundreds. Some were baby small, others long like emaciated spiders. They latched onto my wrists, ankles, hair. Their touch was electricity and frost, numbing skin to wax. The mouths chanted louder, overlapping like an arena crowd. Breathe, breathe, join, inside. My legs sank into the floor, which had become wet, grainy snow, dragging me thigh deep. A final instinct sparked. Pain. I bit my tongue. Hard. Copper flooded my mouth. For one blinding second, the world snapped back. The Zenith lay on its side, screen spider-webbed, shards glittering. The hands, the mouths, the heartbeat. Gone. My feet were on solid hardwood. I collapsed, dry heaving, tasting static on my molars. Morning sun crept in through perfectly ordinary windows. No monolithic pane, no frozen traffic, just the smell of cigarettes from a neighbor's balcony. The TV, missing. Only 4 narrow drag marks carved through the finish, ending at the rug center before vanishing. I promised myself coffee, sanity, maybe a priest. But my phone buzzed. A new notification from my photo gallery. A fresh image. I hadn't taken any. I opened it anyway. The picture showed 9 Cs smothered in dust, furniture arranged in funeral stillness. In the foreground, a gaunt figure, me, or a low-resolution ghost of me, curled in the corner, hands clamped over bleeding ears, mouth frozen in a scream with no audio track. I deleted the photo. It reappeared. 10 more spawned, pounding my storage like spam. In each, the figure crawled closer to the camera, dust swirling off its body in slow-motion plumes. I powered the phone off. The screen stayed on. Black and white snow rolled across it, shaping 2 final words in jittery capitals. Breathe in. I'm typing this from a crowded cafe, public Wi-Fi, bright fluorescents, plenty of witnesses. Too scared to go home, too tired to run forever. But every reflective surface shows that grayscale apartment. Like my world is a filter I can't toggle off. So if a TV near you starts whispering for someone to trade places, don't answer. Because if I disappear, it means I finally said yes. If you survive tonight's nightmare, tap like, subscribe, and ring the bell, so you'll hear the static before it hears you. Sleep tight.